నా క్లాస్ లో ఉన్నాను. Okay. So Java, very easy language. You can understand very easily. That doesn't matter if you have any doubts and all. I will clear it after the completion of the class. And if you have any issues with that, then I will sort it out after the class. If you people are interested in Android programming, like you people are using Android phones, right? So in that, the Java is very good for you. I'm working on Java only present now. That's why they assigned this topic for me. They don't even assign some other topics and all. Okay. So Java is like a purely object-oriented programming compared with the C language. So why the C language is useful? Yeah, it is useful. You people are using personal computers like laptops and PCs, the desktops. So inside a desktops, you're having a OS called Microsoft. So what is a Microsoft Windows 10 application present you are using right now? You know that if you know the C language, you think like, sir, this is only simple, the first language, which is a high level language right now we are using. But don't you think in that way? If you are expert in C language, the Microsoft will recruit you for sure. But you have to go for some applications for the demo purpose. So the Microsoft Windows 10, Windows XP, Windows 8 or Windows 7, each and every operating system is built on C programming. C programming is a core subject for the operating system. Operating system, what is the operating system? That you people are using the operating system in your laptops as well as the desktops. So if you are very much familiar with the C language or a CPP, you can easily understand Java. I think in the first semester, do you have a C language with you? I need a response in the chat box. Some of you, please just make it sure. Do you have a C language? Okay, then that's very good for you. If you are familiar with it, then it is good for you to understand Java also. Why Java? Then why we need a Java? Because so many high level languages are available. Then why you people? Almost all 3 billion people are using a Java applications around the world. So which is a very, very, very important high level language in this present scenario, in this situation the people are using. Without Java, there is a movie called Without Java. Without Java, the world cannot survive. Without Java, the world cannot survive. Not even your devices for, even your browser, the Chrome browser, the Mozilla Firefox, each and every browsers are built on this JavaScript or Java. So Java is a basic programming language, which we call it as a high level language also. What is a high level language? High level language in the sense you can understand the language. One more thing I want to tell you, you know ABCD, but the computer doesn't. Computer knows only ones and zeros. So the people, they just designed a Java programming to understand to us only, not for the computer, not for the computer itself. What the computer knows ones and zeros only. Make sure that what I am saying, just concentrate on the topic. Computer doesn't know our language. What are all the things you know? They built a bridge in between us to the operating system. They made a bridge between us and between the to us and the operating system. So what is the use of a high level language? If you want to do any programming, it's your own language only. A to Z or 1 to some billions. So even you only understand that. But in the sense of a computer, it only knows 1 and 0. Only 1 and 0. If you want to write a program, it is not possible for us to write ones and zeros. Each and every statement, it is not possible. That's why These people, Java people, just introduced the high level language based on a C language. So C language is also a high level language, which we can understand. And one more thing, there is a translator. What is the difference between the translator and the compiler? In the Java, we are using, let me tell you the difference between interpreter and a compiler. I think if you people are interested to go to the IT sector, just learn Python programming also. So which uses an interpreter, but the Java uses both interpreter as well as the compiler. So what is the main difference in between that? The main difference between the Java, compiler and the interpreter is interpreters executes the code line by line. Line by line. If there are 100 lines of a code, it executes a line by line. But in the sense of a compiler, it executes the whole program at a time. This is the main difference in between interpreter and compiler. Okay, so sir, why we need a compiler for the Java? So Java will be compiled, Python will be interpreted. So what is this compiler? Okay, what is this compiler? Okay, now you people are, so think like you are like a chief minister or a prime minister. So you went to somewhat South Africa. So there you want to translate with the other people, but you don't know the local language. What will you do? You will hire a translator over there so that this translator knows your language as well as that other language also. So what you said to them, that the particular translator translates the information to the other South African people. Okay, got my point. So this translator, we'll call it as a compiler. What is the use of a compiler? To translate our language to the operating system. That's it. What is the use of a compiler? The main thing which translate the high level language to the low level language. Low level language is the machine language, which consisting of ones and zeros. This is all about Java. So in the present, when they designed that, Sun Microsystems has acquired, they started the Java, but now itself Oracle paid a lot. Paid a lot to acquire Java itself. Oracle in the sense, in your own words, Oracle. We'll call it as an Oracle, but your own words, it's a Oracle. So Oracle acquired Java. Just Oracle bought Java. Everything, even every rights has been bought by the Oracle Industries. Okay, next. How to install a Java in your PC? Very simple thing. Go to your oracle.com. Inside that, there is a JDK8. So according to our syllabus, we are using a JDK8. So JDK, what is a JDK? Java Development Kit. So the Java Development Kit is like to generate a bytecodes. So inside this JDK, compiler is available. For that, we need a JDK to compile Java program. You are going to, excuse me. Okay. So for the compiler point of view, you need to install a JDK8. So what is the maximum version of Java right now? It is a 16. The stable version is a JDK 16. Even I don't know why the people are using the old versions. I don't know actually. You are having the old version JDK 8 in your syllabus, but now JDK 16 is going on, and which is a stable version, JDK 16, and 17 is in a beta version. Beta in the sense which is in the testing condition. Java 17 is ongoing a Java version present situation. Okay. Now download a Java. Just after downloading it, there is a setup file. Setup file in the sense which extension is the .exe. If you want to install anything which in our operating system allows .exe files, just click on that, it will be installed. And go to your command prompt. How to go to your command prompt? In your programs, like Windows button is there, right? So go to the programs, type on CMD, and there is a black color window called command prompt. So in there, just type Java. If you install properly, it throws the path of the Java. Okay, then you came to know that it has been installed. So now that you have to create your path for that to run on applications. To run the applications, you have to create a path. Okay, how you are going to create a path? Inside an environment variables. How you are going to do that? Inside your My Computers, right click on the My Computers, click on the properties. There is an option called a properties. Inside the properties, there you are having an option called environment variables. Two options are available inside environment variables. Let me show you that. Okay, I'm going to, what is happening? Yeah, see this one. So here, when you click on My Computers or My PC or search in your type to search over here, after the Windows button, there is a text box over there. Search environment variables, which is available in your control panel. So inside your control panel, there is an environment variables. This is how you are going to create a path. Click on environment variables. Okay. So inside your environment variables, you are having a path over here. You are having a path over here. This is for user variables. And now here, Java home. This is for a creation of Java home. This is not necessary for you. We are creating only the path right now. So here there is an option called path. Yeah, here it is. There is an option called path. So how you are going to do that? See this one. After the installation in your program files, there is a folder called Java. Inside that, what you install here in this situation, I am just using a 1.7 right now. This is a Java 7. So in your syllabus, we are having a Java 8. Doesn't matter. Only 2 more features has been added. I mean only few changes has been changed in Java 8. That's why I'm using 1.7 only. So here, just copy the folder path of a bin. After copying this, I'm already created. So go for the new and then paste over here. Paste the path of the folder of a JDK. Paste over here and click OK. Okay. And then here also OK. And if you apply will be highlighted, then click on that and then OK. Okay. Okay, let me share you my screen. Yeah. See this one. So after that, check whether the compiler has been installed or not. So in the command prompt, the similar way, go to your I mean, there are 2 ways to get into that. Windows, or there is a shortcut key, Windows, or by clicking on that, type CMD, in the sense CMD. So after clicking on CMD, it will be a command prompt will be prompted out. So inside a command prompt, just check it with a keyword called JavaC. If this is run, your path has been set correctly. So this is how we are going to install the Java in your PC. So, and next, introduction of a Java language. What is this Java language? So why we need this? We already discussed this one, because Java is a programming language and a platform. Java is a high level. Yeah, we already discussed that. And the machine language is like a low level language, but we can't understand that. That's why we built ourselves a programming language which is high level language, which is understandable to us. Robust in the sense Java is very strong. You can't even break it out. The hackers are trying to break it out, but which is a strong. So many things are available inside us. There is like access controls like public, private, and protected. So these are the access controls over there. At the time of an example, I will tell you in detail about the access control, okay, which is a purely object-oriented programming. Objects in the sense, the C language, which we call it as a high language, is not purely object-oriented programming. The C language is not an purely objected, but the Java is purely object-oriented programming. So based on the information what we got, the Java language is very secure compared with other languages. Okay. Okay, has been done. And then we are going to need why Java. Java is an object-oriented class-based programming. So each and every programming language having somewhat different issues. C-level language starts with a void main or an int main, and they are having a header files over there. But the Java class starts with a class. Java programming starts with a class. That's why we'll call this as a purely objected programming, and which is a concurrent. Concurrent in the sense you are going to use in multiple ways. You will get a clear idea about this at the time of an example. I'm going to show you the tool. There are so many tools for us. Okay, I will discuss about that later. So here, which is secured, general purpose computer programming language. This is a general in the sense which is understandable for us in very easy manner. So which is a strong also. Okay. Now one more slide. So the terms you have to know about the Java. So there are three terms, very important, these things. One is a JDK. We already discussed about this, which we call it as a Java development kit. To use a compiler to compile anything which is available in Java. And one more thing I want to tell you, each and every programming languages like Java, C, Python, or a PHP, whatever the language it is high level, they are having their own compilers. They are not going to depend on other compilers. JDK consisting of a compiler. Our Java programming is going to use that compiler only. So that what I am saying, to overcome all these things, the Facebook, what they are doing, they are going to generate a hybrid compiler. What they are thinking, each and every high level languages having their own programming languages, I mean own compilers. But the Facebook, what it is doing, why they have own? Why can't we have a compiler that executes each and every high level programming languages? I think it is in the progress right now. The Facebook present, they are working on that. Okay. So here we have to remember about Java development kit, which consisting of a compiler and JRE. After the installation of a JDK, in parallel, Java runtime environment is available. We have to install that one also. So it doesn't matter when you're going to install this, by next, you will get, disconnect 1 second. It's okay. So it will be like next, and the Java runtime environment will be installed on your PC in parallel with the JDK. So what is the use of this? What is the use of a JDK? So I want to tell you one thing. One of the main topics in a Java is a Java virtual machine. So this is all about a theory point of view right now. The practical point of view, after the introduction, I'm going to tell you how the practical point of view will work on a Java programming language. Okay, there is no need to worry about that. This is all about the introduction. All these things are not available in your syllabus right now. Okay, but initially we have to discuss about this. And here Java runtime environment is available. What is the use of a Java environment? This is used after the compilation. So what is the compiler's work? What the compiler do? Compiler gets a high level language and translates and compiles that information as a byte codes. Byte codes. What byte codes? So what the compiler will do? It translates a high level language to the byte codes. So now here the main thing will occur. Then after the byte codes, the class loader, which we call it as a class loader. I'll tell you, class loader. This class loader loads that byte codes to it. This class loader loads it. After the loading, JVM will acquire all the bytes codes. What is a JVM? Java Virtual Machine. I want to tell you after that the clear idea about the JVM will be happened. There is no need to worry. And after the compilation of a Java program, which will consider the byte codes into the JVM. What is the main usage of a JVM is arrange the memory for the byte codes what we got from the compiler. After the completion of that, we are going to use a Java runtime environment to execute the code in our language. What it will do after the completion of a JVM, which allocates a memory inside a computer, which will be called upon by using a JRE only. By using a Java runtime environment, what are all the things you do inside this will be retrieved by the JRE, and it translates that by class files to us. One time I'm going to explain. So the JDK compiler compiles the Java high level language to the byte codes. These byte codes are sent to the JVM. Here the memory allocation will done. After completing all these things, the runtime environment gets it by the class. After this, a dot class will be happened. The dot class file will be happened. This will be considered by the JRE, and then output will be visible to us in our language. Okay, don't you think that much? It's simple, like byte codes will be considered by this, by the memory allocation, and for our point of view, which translates this to the output. Think like that only. There is no need to worry about all these things. Okay. Java editions. How many Java editions are available? Just neglect this one. I'm not going to discuss this right now. So there are mainly 3 editions are available. One is a standard edition. So what is the use of this? The standard edition is for the basic applications of a Java. What is the basic applications? The desktop applications. Now in the present situation, you people are using Microsoft Windows, Microsoft Office, sorry. What is the Microsoft Office? The Microsoft Office is a Java application which is based on desktop applications only. Okay, so the desktop applications will be developed in standard edition. Now this is Java EE, which we call it as Enterprise Edition. So what is the use of an Enterprise Edition? To use for web applications. So present now, we are using web applications inside your browser. So for that, we are using a Java Enterprise Edition. What the Enterprise Edition consisting of? There is no need to remember this one actually. Inside that we are having a Spring Hibernate and so many web applications are available. Just think like Enterprise Edition is for web applications. Standard edition is for desktop applications. And here ME, what we call it as a micro edition, which is used for the mobile applications. So inside your mobile, you are having Java edition, micro edition. Okay. This is the main usages of this. This is also for the desktop applications only. So just mention like this is a new edition has been introduced, but we are having only 3 editions. Okay, there is no need to worry. Next one, features of a Java. Okay, which is a simple language. You know ABCD. so that from A to Z, everything will be, we know. So it is like a simple, very, very simple language. We can write it on our own. That's why Java is a simple language, which we use it as an object-oriented programming. Why we call it as an object-oriented? Because each and every class, we need to create an object. After the Java virtual machine, you will get a good idea about this after the explanation of that, which is a portable. Portable in the sense, we can use at any time. We can use, we can send, we can share, which is in a handy way. We can use at any time. Okay. And this is a platform independent language. You can build application in your PC and run on other devices. You are going to suppose work on your PC, but you can run on Mac OS also. You can run on any other desktop by using a platform independent. That's why we call the Java language as a platform independent. Just work over here, run somewhere else. That's why platform independent. We'll call Java as a platform independent. And secured, because it is an object-oriented programming and it is having access controls, we'll call this as a secured, which cannot be breakthrough. So for this, which is a very secure with compared with the other high-level languages. And robust. Robust in the sense of very strong. The coupling with the one class with the other class, they are connected together. Not even you can break it. There are so many OOPS concepts are available, like inheritance, like interfaces, encapsulation, dynamic binding, dynamic method dispatch. So many things are available. That's why we call it as a robust. Don't you think this is also not available in your syllabus, but you have to know somewhat. Architecture neutral. This is like each and every programming languages having their own architecture, but this is not depend on the architecture. According to our scenario, our context, we are going to use Java code in our own way. Interpreters, we are having both the compiler as the interpreter in Java. That's why we'll call the Java as interpreter. What is use of interpreter? Which executes the code line by line, but the compiler executes at a time. High performance. Already we know about the robust and secure. If it is a robust, then this should be high performed. Okay. And multi-threaded. These topics are distributed in the sense you are going to use over here and you can share on web applications. That's why Java is a distributed. Dynamic. Dynamically, you can allocate a memory for a Java applications. And static also, you can arrange a memory. Static in the sense you can by default you are assigning some values. Dynamic in the sense at the time of a runtime you are going to give the values. What we call the dynamic. Let me take an example for you. You are having a WhatsApp. So what the WhatsApp consisting of? You are going to give a message in the text box for the other people. You are going to type over there, and then by clicking on the button, you are going to send the message, which we call it as a dynamic. Okay. While you are riding in your what we call bike, you are having a messaging app. There is once when a person called you directly, you are going to choose one of the draft over there. I'm on ride, I'm eating, I'm meeting, I'm in meeting. So everything is like a default, which we call it as a static. But here inside a WhatsApp, we are giving directly the value, the message to the other person, which we call it as a dynamic. Okay. I think time is running out. So after the completion of this, you are going to enter your syllabus. So which is a very important topic for you. Actually, 3 more minutes left. That doesn't matter. This is the first class, right? There is no need to worry about Java and all. If you people are interested in mobile applications like Android and iOS devices also, let me 1 second.